Good afternoon. It is Monday, September 22nd, 2025. I'm standing on Superior Street between 2nd and 3rd Avenues East, continuing with the Monitors project of visiting all the parks in the city from smallest to largest. We started at park number 162 and we have now worked our way up to park number 70. At 4.35 acres, it is the Gichi Akiing Park. Right. And I do enjoy this one, this connection from Superior Street over to the park. Without this boardwalk, this elevated boardwalk, the park and everything, the lake, would be completely cut off from downtown. This short connection makes a real difference for allowing people to enjoy their city, to access their city. So this park was established in 1992. As you can sort of tell, it is built over the interstate tunnels. It was designed by Kent Worley, and originally it was known as Lake Place or Lake Place Park. In 2018, the City Council voted to change the name to Gichi Akiing, which means a grand heart place. So basically the whole park is built over the interstate, all these trees. Can you imagine what that weighs, just the dirt and the vegetation? A little pavilion here. Nice trees in here. So if this was established in 1992, does that mean these trees are only 33 years old? Seems like that one is probably older than that. I don't know. Seems pretty big for 33. See, they got some tamarack trees back in there, the evergreens that drop their leaves. I never noticed those ones here. Let me just hop up here. I always notice a lot of mushrooms and things growing up in this park. It's a completely artificial park in the sense that it's built on top of cement and everything. And it's also the park where I find the most fungus, most naturally growing mushrooms. There's giant puffballs up here. Do I just see one? Do I see one? Oh my goodness. I said it and here it is. Look at this. This is a puffball right here. Wow. I've found them up here before, but I didn't think there were any left. This is a puffball. It's not harvested. It's still attached. Look how big that is. Bigger than my hand. I'm not gonna do anything with it. I have harvested these before and eaten them, but I'll leave that one there. That's amazing. And here's another piece of one right here. So there was more than one. Wow. So if anybody wants to see a puffball in nature that's the size of a soccer ball, it's right here. There's probably more of them in here too. I may come back later in the fall. See if nobody has harvested that thing. That's going to be a giant. That's going to let off a giant explosion of spores if you kick it. So that'll be fun. More mushrooms here. Look at this. I don't know what it is about. Maybe because it just sits here next to the lake and it's constantly enveloped in mist, and all the, you know, the moisture helps out with the fungus. And then the walkway, you can continue on that way and head down toward, well, there's boardwalks to access First Avenue East and Lake Avenue that way. But I'm not going to go that way right now because this park only goes about up to this wall. This is a nice broad forested area too. See that right there? That is what separates downtown from waterfront areas. It's basically an impassable barrier unless you have an overpass. That's what makes that access to this park from Superior Street so valuable and useful. Because otherwise you'd have to go down Superior Street, go to Lake Avenue over there, cross over, down to the lake walk, come back. Might take you 3/4 of a mile to walk what is just a couple of 100 yards now. Almost wiped out there. Hi. There are sculptures here. Hard to read this little plaque here, but citizens emptied piggy banks, attended fundraising concerts, and even purchased old street signs to help pay for a rising. That's the name of this sculpture. It stands as a symbol of Duluth's efforts to support a peaceful existence and will provide a focal point for the community's many peace and nonviolence programs. A rising. That's the lake walk, and then that little section of Cobble Beach is its own little separate park on the list. That will be coming up in the future, and I look forward to it. You can see the construction there going on at 333 East Superior, Lakeview Towers. The building that originally promised several floors of apartments, then decided that they were going to change 2 floors of apartments into short-term rentals, vacation rentals. So they asked the city if they could do that, but they didn't want to give up any of their subsidy either. And the city said, yeah, sure, whatever. The contract says you have to do apartments, but go right ahead and change those into vacation rentals. And we won't take away your subsidy either. So that's what's going on there. First time that ever happened, actually, with the conversion of promised, contractually obligated apartment dwellings into vacation rentals. First time in the city's history we're subsidizing vacation rentals right there. Here's another sculpture. Green Bear. Leo Lankinen. Walter Soini. Sounds like a good Finnish name, right? Russia, I guess. I don't know. Sister Cities Commission. This is from Russia. Sculpture Exchange. Green Bear. And it looks like a flower. A little interpretive sign here. Another sculpture. Does this one have a plaque? Yes, it does. Water and Friendship. This one is from Ohara, Japan. Sister Cities Sculpture Exchange. So Japan, Russia, and that one back there was a Minnesota, I guess. And then it continues on a short distance that way. So there you go. Park number 70, Gichi Ode Akiing. Thanks for watching.